criticise a politician for taking a holiday. I'm not going to criticise Andy Burnham for that. It's children's school holidays. My children are on a holiday. I hope that everybody should be taking a break. What I will criticise Andy Burnham for is not coming to Parliament after becoming Prime Minister. He should have done that and allowed himself to face questions from MPs. That's what we're elected to do. We are the elected representatives of the people. Andy Burnham was running away from Parliament. He can't run away forever. I'm not going to be giving him a holiday when we come back in September. This time last week, I sat on a panel where I had women who had been victims of horrific sexual assaults and violence telling the country that their rapists and their abusers were about to be released very, very early. And the fact is the government had to be forced into this by me and so many other people bringing the victims out. They shouldn't have had to do that. And yet still, killers are going to be released, like the killers of PC Andrew Harper. I'm here, out with police. I see the hard work they do. The idea that one of their killers will be out on early release, or some of their killers, I should say, out on early release is horrific. Labour have been too slow to do this. Andy Burnham has been too slow. I put an amendment down on legislation to stop the release of rapists and paedophiles. Labour MPs voted against it. They're only doing this now because of the pressure which I and others, Conservatives and others, have been putting on them, and we will continue to do so. We do not want to see the early release of killers. I'm glad that the government wants to stop the release of rapists, but they need to get on with it, not just talk about it. So I think it is really important that we all acknowledge that there is a problem with prison spaces and prison overcrowding. But just to be clear to your viewers, never ever under Conservatives did we have the early release of rapists, paedophiles or killers. Yes, we did have an early release for people who'd served 2/3 of their sentence, not people who'd served or half their sentence, not people who served 1/3 of their sentences, and definitely not paedophiles, not rapists, not killers. In 14 years of Conservative government, there was an early release of about 10,000 prisoners. We have had 60,000 released under Labour in just 2 years. You cannot compare the two situations. We do need to solve the problem with prison overcrowding. We said we were going to build prisons in the Conservative manifesto. COVID derailed that programme. We still need to build prisons. We need to remove foreign criminals, and we should do what Conservatives had planned to do 2 years ago, which Labour stopped, which is rent prison spaces from other countries. Sweden does it, the UK can do it too.
See what that intelligence was and go from there. So is someone arrested there today? There may not be. It all depends on what we find during the warrant.
And is there a reason why it's done at dawn? This is
and the people you'll meet today on the warrant, so this is like a secondary skill for them, so they're public order officers as a secondary skill.
That are 75, so we've been through a TACAD and looked at different options by rapid entry if there's no answer. That way we're just ensuring the safety of the occupants, and they will then be detained for a period of time until we've managed to carry out a search of the property and the vehicle, and then just encourage them and thank them for any intelligence that they've been given to us in the past, so that moving forward we continue that, so we can look at other warrants in the area and other stuff that's associated with it. And that is the overview of today's operation.
Be cautious if someone comes to the door. You want to check. Put an MOE warning in, please.
Please open the door.
Thank
you, sir. Open the door.
So there might be some coercion with the grandparents, who knows, threats of violence, and when it's effectively domestic abuse, you know, it's in ways just not the typical.
It's not intimate partner, but it's domestic abuse.
For possession
We can smell
with
it.
intent to supply. Yeah.
Although I can't smell the class X. I
No,
don't
you
know
can't
what it
smell
smells
it.
like.
What do you want,
Because I'm a good citizen. So,
And then we're going to slow it down a little bit inside now, search the address properly so we've got everywhere covered, and then we'll probably get rid of one prisoner at the moment towards custody.
How are the grandparents doing?
They're absolutely fine. Good as
Okay,
gold. Yeah, chatting to us, they sat
okay.
downstairs.
So I thought that must have been quite frightening for them.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
So, but they are.
I mean, I'd be shocked.
You would, right?
I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
So-
like substance within that single bag.
Suspiciously like again.
No, it's ice cream, like bacon. So, in this
The team is still searching. As you've seen, there was a gentleman arrested for possession with intent to supply Class A and Class B drugs. He will be further arrested for some weapons offences a bit later, because some of the items we found today, there's a couple of these which are batons, metal batons that can be extended, which are obviously unlawful weapons. There's also, that's a lock knife, there's a range of other lock knives. Interestingly, these were found with a balaclava, in a bag with a balaclava, so we obviously don't know what he's up to with those yet at the moment, but we've seized those weapons. And then so far from today, we've got a range of drugs. So this is all what we believe to be cannabis. That's a whole bag of cannabis, effectively.
Smell it.
It's very strong.
Yeah.
And then there's also this, which is quite hard to see, but there's effectively what we suspect to likely be cocaine. You've got quite a large quantity within there, and then the other bags. And then there's a wider round of cash, a lot of cash,